This lesson is over, volume of rectangular prism. So before we do that, let's look at our number routine. There's a mistake somewhere. So this is a trapezoid. How do you know that this is a trapezoid? There's only one set of parallel lines. So let's see. The formula to find the area of a trapezoid is half of the sum of b1 plus b2, which is base 1 plus base 2, times the height. So if you add the two bases, 8 and 6 together, you get 14. And then the height is 4. I see the heights right there is 4. So far it looks good. So let's see. Let me get my pen out. I don't really see any mistakes so far. So half of 14 and 4. Two ways you can do this. You can do half of 14 is 7. 7 times 4 is 20. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, I see what I meant. They multiplied 14 by 4, which is 56. They forgot to do half of it because you're finding the average of the bases. All right, so Manila wants to make the international marine signal flag shown below. What is the area of this flag? What makes this polygon a trapezoid? Again, let's highlight the parallel. There's only one set of parallel lines. So let's get my calligraphy pen. Volume equals, I'm sorry, already getting ahead of ourselves. So this is the area of a trapezoid, which is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 height. Again, you look at your mathematics reference chart to get that. So half, the base 1 is 30, the other base 2 is 5, the height is 100. If you add, you get 35 and 100. If you multiply 35 by 100, you get 3,500. What is half of 3,500? I have no idea. So it goes 1 time, 7 times, 5 times, 1,750 inches square. If that is way too complicated, could you do half of 100? What's half of 100? 50. 50 times 35 is 1750 squared inches. So each table has a rectangular prism or a shoebox. That's where we store our highlighters, our markers, our supplies. What do you notice about the base of the rectangular prism? This base right here. What shape is it? It is a rectangle. How do you find the area of this base? To find the area of a rectangle, don't we multiply base times height or length times width? So if you look at the rectangular prism, it says V equal capital B H. In science class, I know your science teacher teaches that volume equals length times width times height for a rectangular prism. So that is true. The capital B represents the area of the base. What's the area of the bottom, the base of the prism? It is length times width, or base times height. So to find the volume of the rectangular prism is V equal capital BH. So find the area, base, and height. So you find the area base. So that's length times width times the height. So we're going to practice on several questions. So here is a rectangular prism. What is the length? 5 inches. What is the width? 2 inches. What is the height? 6 inches. So 5 inches by 2 inches by 6 inches is 60 inches cubic inches. The reason why we call it cubic inches instead of square inches like the previous ones is inch times inch is to the cubic inches. What is the length? 6 inches. What is the width? 2 inches. What is the height? 8 and 5/10 inches. So the length is 6, the width is 2, the height is 8 and 5/10. So 6 times 2 is 12, 12 times 8 and 5/10. That's 10, carry the 1, 6, 16, carry the 1 is 9, 0, 12. Don't forget, this is in tenths place, so it's 102 cubic inches. Write and solve an equation to determine the volume. So volume, if you want to use, you use the capital BH, which I'm cool with. Or if you prefer using length times width times height, I'm cool with that too. So to find, right, so write and solve an equation. So the length is 12, the width is, do you want to use 3.5 or 3 and 5/10? I'm going to use 3 and 5/10. And the height is 10. If I multiply 12 and 10, that's 12 times 10 is 120. So what's 120 times 3 and 5/10? 0. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. Smiley face. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. If you add this up, it adds up to 4,200. But that's not the answer. This is in the tenths place. So it's 420 cubic meters. Number 4. Olympic gold medal winner Michael Phelps swam in a pool with the required dimensions 5 1/4 meters by 10 meters by 3 meters. Write and solve an equation to determine the volume of the Olympic sized pool. Well, this should be a period right there. V equals length with height. So the length is 5 1/4. The width is 10. The height is 3, or something like that. That's a very tiny, tiny pool. So 5 1/4, turn it in proper fraction is 21/4. Again, how do you do that? 4 times 5 is 20. 1 more is 21. 21/4. 10 times 3 is 30. If you multiply 21 times 30, I have no idea what that is. 630 divided by 4. And what is 630 divided by 4? It goes in 1 time, 5 times. 4 goes in 37 times. So we have 2 left. So it's 157 and 2/4. Or I even take 157 and 1/2. You could do it that way. Some of you may prefer, which I'm okay with it, turning 5 1/4 to the decimal of 5 2500 times 10 times 3, and you'll get 157 and 5/10. Number 5, Mr. Joe is making a box for his celebrity girlfriend. The length of the box, oh goodness. The length of the box is 5. The height is 4. To find the volume, what else information does he need? I think I forgot to find the width. C is the answer. It's not about my money because she is a celebrity, so she makes way more money. I don't think she cares about a box unless it's a baby blue from Tiffany. And the material is just a box. And last but not least, number 6, the volume of the rectangular prism is 120 cubic centimeter. The length is 10, the width is 3. What is the height? I forgot to tell you what this is. Write and solve an equation to determine the missing length. So V equals length with height. So we know the volume is 120, the length is 10, the width is 3, but we don't know the height. So 120, 10 times 3 is 30, times height. So again, this is one-step equation. I need to isolate h, so I divide by 30. Divide by 30, let's cancel. H equals 4 centimeters. So again, to find if you are given 2 of the parameters, like the width or the height, and they're missing the length, you make an equation. Write this equation. Be in the habit of writing an equation. You substitute in the numbers, and then you cancel what needs to be canceled. So the rest of the class, you're going to be watching a video about this guy who covers his whole classroom with balls. A lot of balls. These are the balls you find in a pit, a ball pit. So kind of cool, actually. So, and then each one of you will be given these. Oh goodness, 1 second. Each one of you will be given a dice. It is your goal to figure out how many dice can fit into this classroom. If I wanted to fill up this entire room with these cubes, how many could fit into the room? The length of my classroom is 29 feet. The width is 4 feet. The height is 9 feet. So you may use a calculator. So if you can find a volume of my classroom, how many cubes will fit into my room? So in here, the cube is 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. So the volume of this rectangular cube is 375,000 cubic inches. The room, on the other hand, is 29 feet times 24 feet times 9 feet. So if you turn all that into inches by multiplying by 12, because we have to use the same units, 348 inches times 288 inches times 180 inches, the volume is 10,824,192 cubic inches. So again, use a calculator. How many cubes will fit in? So how many of this individual cube right here, 3 and 375,000, will fit into this? Using about 3,207,168. So that's how many I would have to buy. Oh, goodness gracious. Think about the money to buy each one. If I had to buy that many, each cube costs, I have no idea how much each one cube costs. 10 cents. So that would be almost 320,716. Oh, goodness gracious. So that is our unit. So volume is it's the space, the capacity, how much it holds. To find it, you multiply length by width by height, or capital B, which is the area of the base, times the height.